Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Barrett. It's Nico from Cliff Jones RV in Sealy. I'm here with Tommy, and he's going to be giving you a walkthrough on your RV.
Hello, how y'all doing today? I'll give you all a quick walkthrough on some of the vital features that you'll need to know. We'll start in the back here where we have our living area. On the left and right, you're going to have your slide outs, which will slide out with hydraulics. It's a hydraulic slide. And over here on your TV area, you have a radio, which you turn on and off with this button right here. And you can mute it and then hold it down to turn it off. And down below that, we have a fireplace. It's a 120 volt fireplace. It works with a remote, or you have a touch pad here for power right here. And then you got a timer, and then your flame colors, and then your temperature. It also can be controlled by your remote control by temperature, 90, 85, and so forth. Set your temperature, and it'll cut on and off and cycle at that point. Very easy to use, and most of the time this is all you're going to need to do to keep you warm during the winter. So let's move on over here. It does come with two recliners. We have them stored to the side, stowed to the side, so when the slides come in, they won't impede the slide movement. The slides do come with the USB ports, one on each side, and both slide lights are push button, or I call them independent lights, or with a button in the center. All the lights in the unit are I call it independent. They can be turned on and off. And there are also some switches on the monitor panel that will turn off the main lighting and so forth. This is the bar. Got a little bar area here. I do have this stool stored up here, but they can go on either side, whichever you choose. Normally they put them on this side right here. Excuse me. Like that. On the right, you have your dinette slide over here. So you actually have 3 slides on this unit. And like I said, it works with the hydraulic slide, so you just hold down one slide button and they'll all independently come out on their own. On this slide, you do have 2 lights, independent lights. You have a dinette table, and this does turn into a bed also. You can take the table off, just pull it up with the little legs, and put it on these braces right here, and then position your cushions to make it into a nice little bed here. It does have some storage underneath on the boost. You got to raise up. It's got a little block underneath that locks them in place. So raise and close them like that so they won't pop out. On to the kitchen. We'll get back to the monitor panel. Onto the kitchen here. You have some kitchen lights which you have to turn on independently. You have 2 above and 2 underneath, right underneath here, your cabinet. It does come with blinds in your kitchen for safety hazards, for fire. Sure. Your sink, it's got a movable faucet. I don't have the water turned on, it's turned on the water pump. So you do have hot and cold running water in here, just pump. And it does have a sprayer, and you also can move it around like that. This is your stove. It's a gas stove, and it's automatic ignition. So this is your lighter. Notice I can turn it to the right. So I would just turn to high or to low, and that's how you do your burners. On your stove, or excuse me, your oven, you have a little light here. So what you do is you turn it to the alignment, hold this down, and turn your click. Might take a few turns because it's got to get gas down to that pilot light. As you can see, it's lit now. Then turn it to the temperature you want, and it automatically comes on, and it'll come on and off to regulate your temperature in your oven. And there it is. Turn it off, and then that's your oven stove combination. Down below here we have is where your gas heater is. So it runs off one of your thermostats here. You have 2 thermostats because you have 2 ACs. So you control with one of the thermostats. It automatically ignites. As long as you have propane, you set it to the temperature you want in the heat mode, and it comes on and comes on and off to regulate your temperature in your unit. Above here, we have a 120 volt microwave tested. We have a light above the stove and a fan for exhaust. This is pretty. This will goes down whenever you're traveling, or to expand your cook space top. Right here you have a 12 volt refrigerator by Furrion. Normally on the freezer type, you're going to get like 9 degrees. And on the refrigerator, it's going to be about 42 to 38 degrees. This is your temperature. All the way to the left is off. And normally if you leave it right in the center, it would be your good temperature right there. It'll keep you cool. Now this particular refrigerator will take about maybe hour and a half to get to cold temperature. But it does run off 12 volts. Down here we've got a converter box, which is actually your electrical box. So you have all your 120 volt breakers here, and they're mapped out, and shows you like the main breakers of 50, for example, and your AC's of 20. So they're all mapped out for you. On the right hand side here, you have your 12 volt fuses, and those are all also mapped out. Those are anything from your stereo to your kitchen lighting to your bathroom lighting and so forth, your slide motors and so forth. So if you're having a problem with that, you can check this side. If you're having a problem with a 120 volt appliance or anything like that, check your 120 volt breakers first. Over here to the left, we have what they call a CO2 detector, which is basically a carbon monoxide monitor. And right now it's on the green, so it isn't working right now. If it does start flashing red, making a real loud beeping noise, that means you need to evacuate your unit and find out the root of the problem and get it fixed. If it starts to beep real slow, maybe every 15, 20 seconds, it needs to be replaced. This is your, what they call the battery shut off. So basically, if I'd leave it on it all the time, except when you have it in storage or something like that. Otherwise, leave it on. That way, it's not going to do any harm at all, but that's what I recommend. This also has a juice pack on it, and I'll get to it outside. Juice pack is it's got like a 50 watt solar panel on there. Will trickle charge your battery all the time, and I'll show you all that. That stays on constantly. It'll trickle charge your battery, keep your battery charged at all times. Up here we have a air conditioner on the towards the front, and this particular air conditioner runs 4 vents. The one in the rear runs the rear 4 vents. So they're not all ducted together. So if you want to get to run all air out all ducts, you have to have both ACs running, and have to have a 50 amp circuit to do that. This is the smoke detector. So we have it tested and everything like that. Is everything tested fine? While we're on the air conditioner too, don't want to get past it. This is what they call the quick cool. When you open up these vents, it actually moves the air down. It gets, if it's warm, it'll cool quicker. So, but if you want more air to come out of your ceiling vents, then you would close those. These are your filters. You have 2 on each one. These are reusable filters. So all you need to do is just remove them, pull them down. You can either blow them out or you can wash them out. And then those need to be checked periodically as well, just like a residential AC system. The ducts are, to turn the vents, they are movable. So if you want to direct the flow of your air, you can direct the flow wherever way you want. Over here you have a pantry. Now we get to the hallway, and we've got 2 AC thermostats together here. So the top one is going to be with one for your front AC. So that's the one that's running now. It's just above your kitchen, and you can do your temperature control down or up. You can change this is your mode button: low cool, low auto, high auto. I recommend it to run in the auto mode. That way it'll cycle just like at a residential air conditioning system. Down below you have the thermostat for your rear or your living room. Right now if it's in off position, but you go through it, you set your mode just like that. And notice it doesn't have the heat mode on this one. So if you want the heat to use your propane or gas heat, you would use your top thermostat here for your heating. Let's go on to the master bedroom. Master bedroom has 2 overhead storages above your bed. They open up, and 2 wardrobe closets, one on the right and the left. You got to have 120 and a USB ports on each side, and you have 4 LED lights in here. You got 2 above bed, 2 in the ceiling. Now these are independent. You don't actually have a light switch on the wall, so these are independent lights. It's your AC vent, which is an adjustable vent here. And then you have a little closet area, storage area here, which is a pretty good size in here with a 120 volt outlet and a wardrobe hanging. And down here we have some storage too here. It is equipped with the possibility to put a washer dryer in here. So it is plumbed already. You have an entry door for the bedroom. If you so choose, this is the deadbolt. Open and close here, and you do have some steps. You can use this to go in and out. These keys, there's 2 sets of keys, so you're going to have 2 sets of purple keys for your front door or entry door, and 2 sets of keys for your bedroom entry door. Those keys are they're numbered and they match the lock numbers to go for your deadbolt and your top lock. Underneath the bed, you do have some storage that actually goes into your front cargo area. So a lot of people they put paneling there, so if they got some nice stuff they want to put underneath here, they can keep it blocked off. I forgot to mention the propane, the gas heat is vented from the floor. So you do have vents in the floor that will supply the air to heat. You got 3 vents. Over here we're going to go to the monitor panel, which is the most important part of the unit itself. So you have these different items on here. You have a little regulator here. Notice I said that you have a juice pack or solar panel. So this is the voltage actually on it's monitoring the voltage on your battery. You've got a USB port here. You've got a fresh water. Now I've got 1/3 in there. Your battery indicator that's charged, which is either the same. And then you got one black that goes to your toilet. So black, you have 1 tank right there. Notice it's empty. When it gets to the full mode, you need to empty it. You don't have a black 2 because you only have 1 black toilet. And you've got gray 1. So that would be your bath water and sink water all into one. Then you have your, right now I'm running on the water pump, but if you're hooked up to city water, you'll never use this switch. You just hook it up to the city water location outside. If you want to use a gas water heater, water heater on gas, you would turn this switch on and it's automatically going to light outside as long as you have the gas, you have gas supplied and there's no obstruction out there. This switch right here is for your main lighting, so all the lighting in the center of the unit will cut on and off with the flick of the switch. Or you can just independently cut them off yourself, whichever you choose. Then you have some slide lights. If you look above the slides, the slide button, they'll come on. And then there's a convenience light, which I'll turn on in here, but it's out on the outside. And then you got your awning light, which controls your blue LED lights on the outer speakers, and also your rope lights on your awning. So here we have your 2 rocker switches, one for the slide. So we'll go ahead and just, we should have room here. We're gonna move these out of the way here. We're gonna actually put them here, and we're gonna show you how the slides come in. They're gonna come in separately, one at a time. So we're gonna go ahead and hold down this slide button. They're gonna all start coming in, then one will go first, and then it'll follow. The dinette slide's going in next, and then the last to follow is going to be the driver's side, rear living side. And that's it right there. So that's all the way in. We'll go out. So we're just going to hold it down. So what you have to do, just remember that you have to hold it down while you're doing this till it stops. So the rear slide should go out first, driver's side, then the dinette, and then the rear passenger side. Hydraulic slides are one of your most dependable slides on the market. So, and it's one button does it all. Before, on other times, you'll have 3 different switches for each slide. So it makes it kind of nice. Okay, that, we're going to show you this, the awning. So the awning extend. I don't know how far I can go. I won't be able to go out all the way because I have I'm restricted right here. But just showing you the awning. It does have a pitch where you can adjust the pitch. I'll go outside. But I want to show you the awning lights. We're going to go on the outside and show you the awning lights and speaker lights. When you turn that on, that's the lighting you'll have with the awning light. Now it does have a pitch point right here. So with your awning fully extended, you can pull down to adjust your pitch. We'll move right over here to your outdoor little kitchenette here. So it does have a refrigerator. This refrigerator is a 120 volt refrigerator. So the refrigerator you have inside is a 12 volt, but this is 120. So whenever you plug it in, this unit's going to come on. Notice it does not have a thermostat or on and off switch here, so it's automatically going to come on. If you would like to turn it off and not have it on out here, it is plugged in up here, so you can unplug it. It does come with a little ice maker out here. Basically, it batches every 6 to 8 minutes. You fill it to the water line, turn it on, and choose your size of your cubes. And like I said, every 8 minutes, you'll get a batch of ice. You have a pull-out little range area here. You have an unplugged little sink right here. Gas line for your stove, which runs off your front propane tanks. It connects down here, quick connect. So if you want to use that, you just quick connect it here, and then you'll have a cooktop here. Also, you do have a little tray here for water. You have hot and cold running water with the knobs here. So you have a little convenience out here that if you want to cook outside, whatever you want to do. And all this stuff slides gently back in. It's got a little lock here that's red. So if I try to go without it, it's going to stop. So you got to pull this gas line in. This up. And it stores in there like that. It'll stay. Moving right along, this is for your gas heat. So you're going to have, it's gas, so it's got an intake and outtake. So this is your discharge. So I do recommend getting a bug screen for this, because if, like I say, mud daubers get up in there, they'll build a nest and you'll have restriction and it won't fire for you, won't cut on for you. But if there's a vent for your stove, so it needs to be in an open position, which it is right now. The flap is open. There's 2 tabs right there, one on each side, that need to be pushed in when you're traveling. Keep snaps in. You've got a place for a TV. If you want to put the TV out here, it's already got the mount for it. All you can do is get the other mount, put it on your TV, and slide it over here. You have audio and antenna connections here, and GFI circuit here for your 120 volts. This right here is your black tank flush. So if you want to clean out your black tank with your black tank gate open, and I'll show you that in a little bit, with the hose connected, go ahead and hook up a water hose here. It has a little hose that goes to a nozzle on your black tank, which has like a fine mist that will help clean out your black tank for you. 2 outdoor speakers, waterproof. This right here, I'll open it up just to show you. Notice they say here that this is not a compartment door. This is actually a service access for your, let me get over this side here. Service access for your plumbing. So, and then your hydraulic tank fluid, and your hydraulic motor and everything like that. And then this is your tub, so you can get to the plumbing. Let's move right over here. The steps, your bedroom entry. Oh, yes, I did forget that these are the low point drains on here. So these are your hot and cold water lines that if you want to do a mini winterization, you go ahead and open these water lines, and it'll drain all the water out of all your lines. And then all you do is open up your sink fixtures or bath fixtures and get the rest of the water out, and you're good to go for the winter. Here's your front cargo area. Comes with a 50 amp cord. This is the jack. This is used for your stab jack. So you got 2 stabilizer jacks in the front and 2 in the rear. Notice I have blocks on mine. This trailer, this unit sits a little higher. So this is about as extended as you want your jacks to be. The more you extend your scissor jacks, the less stable it's going to be. So I recommend that they be on blocks and block it up and get it level. If you want to use this manually like this, you can hand crank it, or you can get you a portable drill with a 3/4 inch socket, and it'll go up and down very easy for you. This right here is for your solar panel. It's the controller board for it, so it is working now with the flashing light. Basically what it puts out is about 12.7 to 12.2 volts to charge your battery and keep it charged at all times. So like I said earlier, that even though you have a battery disconnect inside, which will disconnect the power to your inside, the solar panel is always going to keep your battery charged, to keep it charged up. So out here we have the tongue area, safety chains, 7-way connector for your tow vehicle, breakaway cable, tethered separately from your chains. We do have 2 propane tanks on here. They're 20-pound and they're basically 5 gallons in each one. They are topped off, except what I showed you inside with the gas from the stove. This is your electric jack, so it comes with a little light here, and then you go up and down to get your trailer level. So the first thing what you want to do if you're traveling, if you're going to unload it, you get your trailer level from front to rear. Then you go ahead and drop your stabilizer jacks to get your trailer from left to right, and then you can go inside and open up the slides. But I always recommend that you get your trailer level from front to rear, left to right, then open it up. It's less stress on your jacks. This right here, if something would happen to your electric jack, you can do it manually crank if you had to. And this little cap goes on here. This regulator is not an automatic regulator, it's a manual regulator for your propane. So notice, I'll switch this over here so you can see it. There's an arrow right there, so that would mean I'd be on this tank. If this tank would go out, the green would turn red, then you turn this tank off, turn it this way, and turn this tank off, and then you're on that tank. To take tanks off, it's got a little wing nut here, take it off, take this regulator off, unhook your hoses, and then take your bottles off and get them refilled. Over here we have the water heater. It is a gas or electric water heater. It's a 6 gallon. So you'll have your choice what to use. Normally what most customers do, they'll use it on the electric mode. In electric mode, there's a switch here. Once you're plugged in, you're ready to go. I already have it turned on. It's in the on position. You're running off your electric element, your heating element. Now if you do need to run it on gas, all you do is turn on the switch inside and it'll run off gas. I do recommend that you get a bug screen for this one also. As I said on your heater intake, it goes right over here. Keeps mud daubers from getting in your gas chamber like this, and keeps you having unnecessary repairs. You do have an outdoor shower. This is called what we call the water center here. So you have an outdoor hot and cold running shower similar to the one you have up in your little kitchenette up front. If you're off the grid and you don't have access to city water or well water, you can fill this freshwater tank up and turn on the water pump inside, and it'll give you water to all your fixtures inside, your toilet, your shower, so forth. Now, most of the time you're gonna have city water, so what you would do is hook up your hose to this for city water. Whatever pressure is coming out, basically is what's gonna come out there, but I do highly recommend that you get you a water regulator, and that'll keep it within specs. If you go over that amount, you could have water leaks, so I highly recommend a water regulator. Over here we have the convenience lights, like I said inside. Was it on the monitor panel? It's not a motion light or anything like that, so you have to turn it off on and off in the inside. If you have cable access, you plug it in here. You turn your power booster for your antenna off. It'll get a straight shot. It'll go ahead and get to all your TV outlets. Down here is your sewer. So you notice you have a gray. The gray, as I mentioned earlier, is for your sink water or galley and your bathroom and shower water. So you can just leave this open if you're camping. If you got a hose hooked up, you have a dump site right by you, you can leave this open at all times. It's just regular water, soapy water, whatever the case is. Now, I do recommend you leave the black. Black needs to be closed all the time, except when you need to dump it. You always need to remember you need to start off with a little water in it. You can put it with a water hose, or you can just hold down the pedal on the toilet, and for maybe about a minute, get some water in there, throw your packet down in there, a little disinfectant packet, and also helps break down matter. Throw it down in there, and then it'll start going like that. When it gets full, you just go ahead and empty it out, and then start with some more water and repeat the process. Oh yes, that's the fresh water. So this one comes with a gate freshwater dump. It's a 2-inch gate. So if you want to dump it, I'll show you real quick. It's going to pour out of there pretty quick because I have it filled up. See, it's a pretty good stream right there. So that's it. This is your overfill. So if you're filling your freshwater tank and you forget about it, you get a phone call, it overflows, it'll start flowing out of there. So over here you have your slides. The only thing you need to worry about as far as maintenance would be rubber conditioner that's on these. I recommend once a year. Go ahead and spray foam it on there, go in and out on each one. Here's where you plug your shore core in. Notice it says 50 amp and it's 120 volts. I'm gonna go ahead and mark that out. They actually made some mistakes by putting the 240 volt. It's not, it's 120, 50 amp. Go around the rear here. It is capable of having an observation camera put in it. This is the particular one that's wired. It's Furrion. It is a plug and play. Very easy to install. I think it comes in 5 and 7-inch screens. Here it is pet friendly, so you do have this little pet leash lock here. And I don't want to forget the cargo rack here. It is rated for 200 pounds. That includes the tire, so the tire's about 30 pounds. You basically have 170 pound, you can put 170 pounds on here. All you do is pull this pin, it pivots down and lock it in place on this side. You're good to go.
That's it. Okay. All right, Mr. Barrett, I wanted to give you this video on your walkthrough here. We will be delivering your unit on Monday. If you have any questions or concerns, give me a call. Thanks again.